GamerLegion?
Yeah, it was in the first round where GamerLegion were able to beat Wendigo 2-0, which was I thought was a very surprising result. But yeah, one of those being a 16-14 on Overpass, which I thought, despite being a very close game, it was actually 10-5 at the half for GamerLegion, winning 10 rounds on their CT side, and I think that's the side they'll start on this time. So yeah, we could be seeing very good things out of this this GamerLegion side. I mean, for Epsilon to be picking Overpass, they've got to be very confident with it. They only have 43% out of 7 maps, so it's not too great. But again, if they wanted to play a map like Mirage, it is a map that GamerLegion do not play. They insta-banned it even before Vertigo, so showing that they were willing to play Vertigo as well, considering they did beat Wendigo on that as well. So yeah, this actually favors GamerLegion, despite being Epsilon's map pick. But again, it's going to be interesting to see who starts the better off, especially on the CT side for GamerLegion. No defuse kit notable in the pistol round, but a lot of utility on Spellan, and this looks like it should be an A-site hit.
Respect to GL that they actually don't pick up a single piece of equipment at all. They just get those Kevlars, and that's it. Oh, Keto, though, capping on Hampus, is going to find himself an entry. That's actually pretty good, but Nock is waiting on long toilets. He's going to find one, he's going to find two. That's enough. Keto refrags, keeps it at a 3-on-3. With HS still on A site, though, this will be a lockdown position until Epsilon can gather all 3 players. And okay, HS just deletes Surreal, as if he never even mattered. Back to your 3-on-3, and Crucial and Keto, probably the best 2 players you can have in a position like this to clutch it out. They have a single smoke left, so that's actually really good. They can use it in their favor. Existence, as soon as he hears the doors open, though, there's a free kill for him in a second. No! Okay, he taps it away, fair enough. But it's 1-0. GamerLegion will pick up their first pistol round on Overpass, the map pick of Epsilon. A bit of a poor start, though. Epsilon dividing themselves into quite a few quadrants, not really getting any success besides the one in towards, I guess you could say, connector and mid.
Yeah, and that's definitely not a good way to be going about a pistol, but I mean, again, GamerLegion, they could have easily fell to that with so many players split across the map. They could have really got susceptible to being picked up individually, but wasn't to happen. And especially with Epsilon in this round, they're going to go for another force buy. If we know anything about Overpass and forces, it's that they don't really pay off. Look at Wendigo, for example. But yeah, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if GamerLegion don't take a 2-0. I mean, there's very little opposition. Pistols, yes, can go incredibly insane, as we have seen in the past, but against the more structured side of GamerLegion, I assume that's the way Existence is playing this, because obviously that's how he commanded G2. That's how he has most of his, or for most of his career, has been a very structured in-game leader. But even with the talent they have, obviously with Nork, HS, Hampus, maybe there is a more looser style which maybe Existence has had to be adjusted to. But overall, GamerLegion should have the basics set in stone and should not be allowing an eco round or a force buy round like this to mess anything up for them early game. And they've even bought into some very powerful weapons in AUGs, which is quite a liability considering they can be lost, which is a great asset for a T to get his hands on. But for now, it looks pretty safe. No real interaction. I would have liked Epsilon to play a faster play with the utility they have. Maybe get out toward that A bomb site or a B rush very quickly, like Wendigo did in their force buy. But nothing to be though. Much slower play this time.
And by the looks of it, an A take. Not particularly sure if they will even get onto site though. I mean, 3 players already defending this. GL is reading into this perfectly. Existence most likely, the one that calls it, okay guys, stay 3 on A, we can retake B if need be. A mustn't be lost, and certainly it will not be, unless something goes horribly wrong. As you said, unless, GL throw themselves at them and give them a few free kills, this should be an easy round for GL, and they should be able to pick up at least a 2-0 result. Here comes the execute. No good pop flash. Crucial blinding out. Or more so being pop flashed in. It's going to be 1 for Crucial, but it's knocked and holds the line. Runs out of bullets in the end. Luckily, Hampus is there to clean house and make sure that this does not get overboard, or at least the ship doesn't capsize. It's perhaps a bit of a shaky shaky turnaround for GamerLegions, but it's still a victory they pick up. It's still a round they get, and it is going to be 2-0. Epsilon, full eco, and as we said, Vindigo are also prone to forcing up in positions like this, and today we saw a bit of a Wendigo, you could say, a Wendigo blunder, as they forced up like 5 rounds in a row, which is kind of bad. But yeah, it's gonna be 3-0, or at least should be.
Yeah, no, I'm glad no other team has taken a leaf out of Wendigo's book and forced up that many rounds. But luckily, oh, actually, Spellin, he finds himself a deagle frag back into a 3 versus 3. Especially with the fact that GamerLegion have given potentially a chance of a couple of weapons to be picked up on this T side. Will knock though. With a single P250, this is a very dangerous approach. Trying to spam away in Keto on a Desert Eagle. Right now, Spellin has got himself an AUG to work with. The bomb is being collected around that T-spawn kind of position, taken toward the A site. Hampus is on the flank, though, and a very dangerous one at that. It should not be expected, but will they realize that Keto's got himself inside a bank? Well, yes, they definitely will. And into a 3 versus 2 with Broken. Spellin left on to remain. Hampus, who actually can't find the spam onto Brokey. That's really unfortunate. But with 40 seconds left, and with Nork able to do the job, he will head down toward the B bomb site. There could actually be a free bomb plant out of this, though.
Yes, there could actually. I'm surprised GamerLegion do not rotate sooner. They're both staying on A, now finally realizing, okay, the plant's on B, we kind of have to go retake this. Epsilon certainly making a lot out of this eco round, though. This is full eco, no Kevlars, at least not for the most part, and they only had maybe a P250 or something of the sorts. And Spellin makes it quite naughty and quite close. Scream, fortunately for GL, is able to return fire immediately and saves himself a pretty heavy-handed death as Nock defuses the bomb. But GamerLegion, they pay a very high price to win this eco round, and luckily they're able to salvage both AUGs, which will give them quite enough of a boost in itself to be able to reinvest without a problem, without a hitch, and having 2 AWPs even. Look at this. Nock and Hampus both picked them up. Ooh, and this is where it starts to get scary for Epsilon. They themselves do have an up on Crucial, but when you deal with Nock being on the up, and when Hampus is feeling as comfortable as he is, that he picks up a secondary up as well, it shows to tell that this is not going to be an easy round, nor an easy game for Epsilon. Hampus, the entry is there, and that's what they needed. Epsilon have been denied any sort of chance of an early advantage, at least.
Yeah, this is looking like a great round so far, and like you say, with Hampus on an AWP is already as deadly as Nock is, realistically. Especially, you saw signs of Hampus growing as an AWP player when he was backing up with Draken back in Uruguay, when he was secondary AWP to Draken. Whilst Draken being quite a unpredictable AWPer, he can hit a flashy flick the 1 minute and then miss a simple shot the next. It was Hampus that really added the consistency. Scream, a man that you don't typically see spraying his weapon. He finds a nice little double transfer. 5 versus 2 now, and if GamerLegion keep this round clean, if they don't lose a single man, this is where it can get very, very nice for GamerLegion, especially with a lot of economy. But Surreal, he'll be able to deny that idea. Shuts down one, but Scream able to reply, and with Brokey left 1 versus 4, a very successful round for GamerLegion, and they'll go 4-0 up, nice and clean. Epsilon losing their first gun round.
This is not exactly a comfortable beginning for Epsilon. Their map pick, and well, so far, their map to lose. It is 4-0, as you said, in GamerLegion. They seem very comfortable in their pants, in their boots. Scream shutting down that almost single-handedly, a 4K for him. And well, Epsilon will reinvest, will rebuy. They've got a few AKs to work with. Brocky already burning alive down to 58 HP. That's a problem. If he gets hit by a single bullet from an AUG or whatever else might hit him, he's as good as gone. Of course, that means if he gets hit in the head. But at the moment, GamerLegion with 2 ops still in their hands, it's going to be very hard for Epsilon to break this defense. Unless they can get rid of Nock and Toilets immediately, they certainly will be losing at least 1 man pretty early on. And with 1 minute and 15 seconds left, Epsilon has enough time to make a decision where the hell they want to end up at. There's the smoke, but Nock. Oh, wait, what? There was a
Wait.
smoke posted. How?
Yeah, that was a smoke kill.
Yeah, did he? That surely was a smoke kill, right?
Unless he was rapidly boosted by existence.
No. You can't see through that smoke. It's posted
exactly.
right so that you can't see through it even if you boost. There's no chance. So I'm fairly certain that was a smoke kill. Yeah, holy shit. Knock. Good timing on him. And Epsilon still looking to take a site. Still looking to move on forward. Pop flash across. Existence given a free kill. Sees the bomb. Oh. This is not good for Epsilon.
This really isn't. Already knock. Again, just to add more damage to this T side.
Salt to the
Beautiful
wound.
flash. Yeah, literally a lot of salt poured in this open wound for Epsilon. 20 seconds left, and with very little out of this round. Again, GamerLegion, they'll be winning another round with keeping 4 or 5 players alive, which is going to do wonders for their economy, but just keep them at such a confident level in their gameplay itself. 5-0. And Epsilon right now, whilst they'll be able to keep those 2 rifles alive, there's going to be very little backing up the rest of that side. We might even see a couple of AKs forced actually just to get rifles in numbers. Spellon can afford an AK with the Kevlar, same for Broke Yankee. So if we were to see a force, which we might do, it would be a very weak one at that. And yeah, we definitely will. So we'll see a little bit purchased, but it's not a lot, and it's nothing you can really call successful on paper. Definitely can have an impact in the round itself, but realistically, this should be GamerLegion running out as a 6-0 and putting Epsilon again down to another eco. But I mean, coming into this game, I'm not sure if you share the same sort of verdict, but I thought this was going to be a 3-map bet, and it still could be. But like, these 2 teams on paper are pretty matched up.
The bomb.
The bomb. That's such a mistake. Even the bomb screen boosted. He'll even boost up in a second location as well. Finally, surreal to pick him off. But yeah, these guys should be matched up neck to neck. They're both sort of mixed styles of teams and members, and especially with the results they've both been having. But right now, it seems like it might just be a little better for this CT side. HS puts himself in a great location though, inside of that smoke, but crucial. He'll be able to find one more. HS to reply. Himself inside of the edge of the smoke, but yeah, crucial to finish and knock down into a 1 versus 3. It looks like finally we will see Epsilon put a first round on the board. It's taken this time, but it finally is here, and if they can do it clean, keep 3 players alive, that's going to be a great success for them. Crucial doing the majority of that work as well with the AWP. Very, very successful endeavor for him, but it seems like finally GamerLegion have been broken on the CT side of Overpass.
What a shot from Knock. Damn,
nice.
That reaction is lightning fast. And as you said, Epsilon, finally the first round is theirs, thanks to Crucial and of course Keto to get the entry above all else, you know, killing the player in Monster that started this thing in itself. But GamerLegion, they're not going to be outfazed by that, or at least they're not going to be, you know, phased by that at least too much, especially with the fact that Knock is still alive. He's got an op in his hands, the money's still flowing, and GamerLegion, surely they will reinvest probably even into a double op yet again, as Hampus has proven, you know, that he wants to play the second op maybe. Again, this is... Ooh, Knock. I thought he heard him before. That's a bit unfortunate. Perhaps the bomb explosion and the bomb timer shadowing, or more so covering the noise of the footsteps, which is a bit unfortunate. The money dropping for, of course, for GamerLegion with the loss of the AWP, but it is still enough to reinvest. Okay, 4 AGs. I'm kind of actually happy about this. Maybe it's for the best in the end. Overconfidence can also kill you, but Knock, he goes for the peak and gets an entry yet again. Secures the beginning for GamerLegion, and Epsilon, they seem to be unable to get any sort of, you know, any sort of clearance, any sort of clear rounds even. Every time, or more so every round they begin, they get shut down, they lose 1 early on, and they have to play with a big deficit, and Epsilon, they might catch themselves losing once more.
That's the thing. If Epsilon keep giving entries to the CT side, they're going to take them all day long. Not going to fare and sitting back and waiting for Epsilon to play the respect game. There's no respect when you're fighting for survival, well, not even survival, to get into that playoff position where you can put yourself at a 2-0 in the Swiss bracket and getting into playoffs first. But with a 5-on-4, especially considering the time beginning to tick, HS, this is actually a really risky playoff position. Well, no, as Keto taking down HS into a 4 versus 4. Scream on that B bomb site is supported by Hampus, but it seems like GamerLegion, they might just be hit on that A bomb site by the full force of Epsilon, all players beginning to rotate, but it seems like CT side might have actually read this a little bit, rotating a second man over a knock, whilst being a very, very aggro spot on top of the garbage container could work out for the element of surprise. But with subpar 20 seconds about to approach on this round now, Epsilon really have to speed things up. If they lose 2 men on the way in, the bomb potentially, if it drops, this is a very dangerous approach, and got by Nog as he shuts down 1. Luckily, I think the bomb will be planted in enough time to do so. It definitely will be. Hampus to come slinking through that smoke, though, as Existence trying to back him up as well. This in a 3 versus 3 is quite the riskiest ever for GamerLegion, though. To set themselves up, Hampus. Beautiful first frag, staying on that sort of Optimus Prime position. Definitely a dangerous endeavor.
Yeah, and that was all on Spellon. He should have gotten that kill. He needed to get that kill. Now Crucial isolated in toilets. Gonna have to support by Keto, but it's a 3-on-1, or excuse me, now it's a 2-on-1. As Scream does refrag on Crucial, it's back to Keto. 1-on-2 clutch round, and he tries to spray Scream at 3 HP, but it's not enough, and it's 6-1 as Epsilon clutched around, pulled it back, retake A, and secure a victory once more for GLs. With the bomb plant, at least Epsilon have a full buy once more, with the $800, excuse me, the $800 bonus, as well as the maximum loss bonus and a few dollars here and there that were kept in the bank. Epsilon are able to reinvest. The op is up on Crucial once more. Relatively full utility, which is quite healthy even. But Epsilon, they seem to be making no progress. Whatever they do, they're being denied by GL, and even with entries for Epsilon, which are already rare as they aren't able to be able to capitalize on top of that. And as we can see, Hampus will draw back from connector. He's playing it smarter here. Nock is in toilets, and as long as Hampus is alive and supports him, that should be enough for for GamerLegion to be able to hold on to that short banana position. But ooh, Hampus, okay, he's gonna take a bit of a wild card deal. Gonna peek long, or perhaps just look for the information himself as soon as possible to try and know, what Epsilon might be up to. By the looks of it, another A split, and Epsilon, they have the utility for it at least. Although time again will become a problem if they don't make it fast enough.
Yeah, and that is the one saving grace for GamerLegion that Epsilon might be able to abuse. Right now, it does mean that T-side always try to take long. Hampus gets himself the first Brokey, luckily able to land the trade and down to a 4 versus 4. 40 seconds left. And Epsilon, they will start to move toward this A bomb site yet again, but not. Reaction to find a first pin down a second. Playing like an absolute monster in this opening passage of play. And Jesse's backing him up as well with all the support. Beautiful nade from Existence, and Brokey just left to scramble that AWP to safety, but it's 7-1. And such a dominant start from GamerLegion, especially on Epsilon's map pick, but we can't really call it a map pick from Epsilon. Yes, it's the map they chose to play on, but realistically, this is GamerLegion's statistically proven map where they know they can have a great result, and definitely proving that again here, especially even though it is on the CT side, it is still a very, very confident set of results so far.
Indeed, that is true. We shouldn't forget that GamerLegion, they've had a bit of a rough time in Season 1, but they've still proven everybody that, they have the potential, they have the necessary skill to make it pretty far in a tournament. And this Season 2, I think they've decided for themselves, you know what, enough is enough. We're getting far here. We're not going to let ourselves be eliminated once more from the group stages. And by the looks of it, certainly they're giving everybody hell and a half to fight for. Epsilon, though, this is a bit of a force by Brokey, has a AWP, while the rest have Deagles, and it's not exactly a clean start as well. Brokey already down to 39, Spellon gets tagged a little bit trying to peek short, and by the looks of it, GamerLegion once more, they're pretty much prepared for any sort of incursion Epsilon might prepare for them. And again, a take without the bomb. Oh, guys, don't pull an Amiga, please. Yeah. They're gonna push the site without the bomb, I guarantee it, at least by the looks of it.
Oh, not again.
Yeah, not again, I guess. Oh, man.
We've seen this too many times, Hampus. Great adjustment to swing that corner. Beautiful flash. Brokey. Just tapping out too. That's a second man dead and into a 5 versus 3. Finally, they pick up the bomb, but it might just be too little too late. Keto timing there as Existence on scopes. Hampus again, able to swing that corner again. A beautiful flash. Hampus! He shouldn't even get the second frag, but Keto missing a vital shot on Surreal. Left into a 1 versus 4. This is going to be 8-1 for a GamerLegion
to
start overpass again.
Same angle 4 times in a row. Honestly, and 3 flashbangs. 4 kills, easy. I don't know. Kieran, this looks pretty bad. This looks pretty devastating.
Really
For the most part, I mean, at this current position, in this current setup, this looks like a pretty one-sided map so far. And oh my god, this guy is crazy! Look at the shots he's hitting. Oh wow. I don't know.
He's lightning quick with the way that he asserts himself with an AWP. Like,
Yeah.
even a player like who has the raw aim doesn't have the speed to be able to flick like that. But still, it's insane. Does manage to get traded back. Crucial, putting a frag on the board, but not before losing the majority of his health in that process. Into a 4 versus 4, Spellin and Crucial, both incredibly low, and Scream might just be wise to Surreal's endeavors, but maybe turns his back at just the wrong time. Surreal, this could be an opportunity to exploit the B bomb site, but Scream spots him out, gets himself a first and a just for the second. Looking so good now for Epsilon, as they find themselves a 4 versus 2. Hampus, though, he puts at least one more on the board. Smoke goes down, and I think he just used the AWP to mask his drop there, but finally Surreal able to finish him off. Nork into a 1 versus 3, and this finally seems like Epsilon, they'll be putting themselves around on the board, and there we have it, 8-2. And at least it looks a little bit better than what we saw out of Epsilon thus far. It is still very, very grim, of course, and GamerLegion can put a buy back on the board, whilst their money is starting to get a little bit shaky. So a chance for that T side to maybe exploit that, but they need to add some consistency into their game. They can't be dropping this next round, or else, realistically, they're giving up such a huge deficit to GamerLegion in this first half.
Yeah, they are. Like, they already have given a big advantage to GL. This is Overpass. This is an 8-7 map, a 9-6 map at the maximum. Brocky gets the refrag, but it's Scream that peaks Monster. Still gets only the 1 kill. Spellin, good enough for him to refrag. Surreal? Wait, what? God. Surreal? How do you not get a kill? This is horrible. Knock already in heaven, and he's going to be helping, or more so, he's going to be assisting the retake from short as well. Spellin's going to try and get down to do CT, but Knock is ready in a second already for him as well, and this is starting to really look pretty bad for Epsilon. I mean, sure, they win 1 round, but what does that help them when they cannot make it up to 2 or 3 in a row, at least, to be able to at least somehow turn it on its head and, you know, give something, or more so, give us something to hope for. Otherwise, Epsilon, I mean, by the looks of it, this just might be another repeat of Nuke.
And if anything is to go by from GamerLegion, then Nuke, if it was one to take a look at, would be so dominant. And again, like you say, Overpass is definitely taking that sort of similar shape, which is definitely, it's so bad for Epsilon. Like, there definitely is a way back into this game, but it's not presenting itself. And Epsilon aren't really going out to find it. Like, there's really nothing that I've seen out of these guys that really looks like it might bring them some form of success. I think that was Nork able to peek that position on Hampus.
I think it was Hampus,
yeah, I think he peeks top of
stairs.
Stairs. Which, to be fair, Nork has abused for the majority of this game. Yet Epsilon's still not able to give him damage. I mean, sure, if you don't find the kill, it's not too bad, but at least, you know, pick him off to like subpar 50 HP, but can't even do that at this point. Epsilon at this current stage looking very, very weak. But if they can find themselves, I'd say 2 more rounds, it would be not a respectable way to finish the half, but at least saving them from an absolute sort of annihilation. But at this point, Hampus misses a first shot. That is not a great way to begin. Not trying to aim down toward a long, beautiful frag and trade it back into a 4-on-4. If you ever need a trade, just hit this guy up, get him on your hotline. It might just be a very simple way to, to really get a trade back. Oh my god! How does he hit these shots?
Oh my god!
Oh my god! He's going absolutely insane. And his existence is there to finish. I'm so impressed with Nork this game.
This is amazing. Nock, hands down. I'm bowing down to you, Nock. You're my new god. That is beautiful. It reminds me of Kenny back in the day when he was actually,
Yes.
you know, actually good. It reminds me back of the JW beginnings. It reminds me, you know, onto the Guardian era where he was actually hitting his shots knock. It's like he's all these things, all these players combined, and he's just snapping his fingers, deleting everybody from the face of the earth. GamerLegion 10-2, and this first half is a disaster for Epsilon. It couldn't have started worse, it couldn't have gone worse, and look at this, HS gonna spray through the smoke. He even hits Crucial. Oh my god, this is, this is looking really bad. This is looking really, really bad, and Epsilon, I don't know what they can do, but by the looks of it, they don't even have anything prepared for this map. I mean, even if they had, would it even work is a better question.
Thing is as well, this is the map that they won against Movistar Riders, right? The last time.
Yep.
When you like very recently casted them, I think it was. Oh no, they didn't. They lost Overpass actually.
They lost. Yeah, it was 16-13,
so
16-14, something like that.
Okay,
yeah,
fair enough. Still, it's
Existence. He's not oblivious to this. Look.
Yeah, Existence. Hello. There we go. Drops the first player. He's like, oh wait, there are guys on site. Oh, wait, give me a second. Able to at least adjust for one spell and sack close to bank. No, and Scream. He gets taken down as well, but HS able to reply for one Existence. Oh, if there's ever a way to end the round, it's with a nice little one versus, two little piece clutch from your in-game leader, 11-2. And like you said, Epsilon, it seems so vacant in this map that everything that they've, you know, quote-unquote practiced or assigned to this map has just gone entirely out of the window, facing off against this GamerLegion side. But really, we can't be too shocked with how these guys are playing because, yes, the Uruguay roster has changed from since they were formed as that sort of mixed team with Existence coming in and, you know, Scream slotting in as that more permanent member with HS back in the squad. Well, that was what old Uruguay was. Yeah. With HS and Grux, I believe, right at the very start.
Grux was only, I believe, Grux was only a stand-in at all times.
Fair enough.
I'm not sure.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, HS definitely was one of the key members of the team itself. But yeah, as you said, Epsilon, this is just disappointing, really.
I think the thing we've got to realize as well is back in season 1, when they were under a sort of a tag rather than an org, you've obviously got out of server issues that you really have to deal with more than what is in the game. Obviously, there's going to be money worries where you don't have a stable income coming in. Now that's taken away from them. Now they don't have to worry about the salary, at least for the next, I'd say. I assume with a team like this where you have a mix of members, you at least don't go for a long or a lengthy contract. You go for like 3 months, and then if it's good after the 3 months, you re-sign and do it that sort of basis. But for those 3 months, these guys can enjoy and love playing their CS without having to worry about anything outside of the server particularly. And definitely showing with a side like this as they're beginning to form together. Existence making it a 1 versus 4, and as he's spotted on top of those barrels, ooh, Scream gets taken down in return, but 12-2. Going into that final round of the first half. The buy round itself won't even be that extensive, and this should definitely be a 13-2 to end the CT side.
I think it's fair to say that no matter what Epsilon bring on the table right now, it's not gonna affect this game anymore. GamerLegion, by the looks of it, 13-2 is a result they'll be picking up without much problem. Knock goes for the peak again. Where's the kill? Molotov actually putting a halt to the push, so, you know, no entry. Maybe that Molotov actually saves Epsilon rather than it delays them, so certainly lucky break, but, oh, Spellin, that was just a millimeter above his head, so if Scream sprays down just a tiny bit lower, he probably gets the headshot. That was lucky. That Spellin is alive, but again, Epsilon, they really have nothing they can work with and nothing that they can show up for. It's going to be a bit of an A play coming out from Surreal by the looks of it, but Rocky going to be shut down by Existence. Surreal close range at APC, but he's not really going to be able to do anything. And Knock, he saves Existence. Oh my god, this guy.
He was literally like touching Existence, he was that close.
Yep. They literally kissed already.
On his uniform.
Yep.
What a dominant half though, like that's so impressive to come into Nuke like that and really show off how good you are on that map.
Yep.
And then go into the second and really, it's exactly the same.
And be even better.
Yeah, and even better, like you said, yeah. It's a very, very good end. And even HS, like, yes, he's on 8 frags. You said, oh, for the scoreline they have, that's not a lot of kills. He doesn't need to be fragging out of his mind when you've got Nork and Hampus both on 18 kills, which is double anyone on that Epsilon side right now, which is, like, just representative of how good they've been in this best of 3.
They have been amazing. And what that means is we're going to go into our second half momentarily, so stay tuned, and we shall return after a short commercial intermission.
Counter-terrorists win. Loot.bet. Made for live betting.
And of course, welcome back, boys and girls. It is going to be our second half, potentially, of our last map. By the looks of it, certainly confirmed at this point. Legion, aka GamerLegion, 13-2 in their first half on CT side, now taking up the mantle of the aggressor. This is a pistol do or die for Epsilon, and a gun round, and pretty much all rounds afterwards. 11 in a row, if I'm exactly honest here. Epsilon, they need to pick all rounds. There's no joking around this anymore. They give 1 or 2 rounds to GamerLegion, that's the game, that's the end. Oh, Scream, he taps it away as well, takes down Spellin, pushing through long A. And all of a sudden, yet again, Epsilon lose the entry once more, as they continuously did in the first half. This is quite a concerning position Epsilon find themselves in.
Yeah, it really is. I think at this point, they're more mentally broken than anything. I think coming into this, whilst they, on paper, look quite the even matchup, GamerLegion, they've blown them out of the water. Yep. Any chance of Epsilon's victory in this best of 3 has been wiped off of the face of the earth. And with that first frag already going to them, Crucial as he tries to peek Nork with the reaction shot. And down to a 5-on-3, it seems like the pace of that first half is already transmuting into half number 2. And Surreal being challenged will be able to find at least a trade back. Makes it a 4 versus 3. Going for a little bit of a jiggle peek toward the right side of default box, but challenged towards a long and Hampus. He's there to reap the rewards of his death. Nice little shot from Brokey, though, as he is able to adjust a beautiful second headshot as well, and a third. Looking for a fourth here as it's down into a 1 versus 2. He does have the cover of that default box, and if he spots out the final mana, which I think he definitely has done, he can isolate these frags, but as time begins to tick, Scream. There he goes. He makes the first one. He has the bomb in hand as well. He should go for the plant. And definitely will be able to do so, but he goes for the kill instead. Scream's always a man that's going to prefer the frags, and when they're so easy to get apparently like that, it's going to be so simple to finish. 14-2. And any chance of Epsilon's victory, it's gone. It is surely gone. Like, such a beautiful bait as well. I didn't even realize that he tapped the bomb there, but it was so fast of a transition that it just baited Keto into death.
Well, the headshot machine certainly isn't lying when it says, I've got headshots for days. And well, 14-2, as you said, Epsilon, this is it. They lose this, that's the game. It's the series. It's the end for them. Epsilon, they've ran out of options, and certainly they've ran out of pretty much everything they've had available to them, out of economy, out of rounds, out of, I guess, in the end, even energy to play. I mean, this has to be very much this has to be how to say, I'm looking for the word. Basically, it has to be very demoralizing for Epsilon. Like, you pick up the map and okay, nuke, you lose, it's acceptable. You got 8 rounds, 9 rounds, you lose, it happens, not much you can do, fair enough. But Overpass, it's your best map, arguably. You want to play this map, and you get, you don't just lose, you literally get destroyed. This is not even just, this is just horrible, and it's a 3-on-3 at least, as Crucial does refrag, but what does this help them? Here comes Scream, it's 1 back for Crucial though, it's back to a 1-on-1 actually, Spellin in existence. Oh, actually Spellin saves the day, fair enough. But that's because GamerLegion are having a bit of fun. That's not because, you know, Epsilon are, you know, this is more because GamerLegion is just kind of running around the map and actually losing the round because of it. if they had actually composed themselves and, you know, wanted to finish this immediately, they probably would have been able to. Epsilon, they pick up a round though, we can't deny that, and they are able to get themselves back up to 14-3, but it certainly has to be 11 rounds in a row here if they wish to win this map. Or not just 11, but 13 in a row to win this map, to have a chance to even go to map 3.
I think at this point it does seem out of the realms of possibility. Of course, in Counter-Strike, it's never done until that 16th round is put on the board. But even if I ran this game through a quantum computer, I think it'd give the correct output at this point. Again, it is all possible that Epsilon can pull this back. They can at least make a more respectable scoreline than what it is now. But as soon as GamerLegion get into their full buy, as soon as they bring out the big guns, I feel like Epsilon, they'll be back to their old ways and back down in the low end of this second map. But for now, we should see an eco out of this T side. Hampus topping the entry frags, 4 kills, or 4 entry kills for him across the 19. HS, Nork, 2 further GamerLegion players who are topping the list there. But still, yeah, fully go on that T side before they head into a full buy for the next. So a chance for Epsilon to at least put 1 more on the board before GamerLegion bring out the weapons and really give Epsilon a true challenge on the CT side.
Yeah, I mean, the challenge certainly going to come through as Spellin takes it into his own hands to win the round, or at least to make sure the round is 100%. He does die, but he at least, you know, they at least win the round. That's about it. This is, again, it is far from over, and it is very far from being, you know, from being a good half, or at least a good game from Epsilon. They are going to have to make it all the way back. There is no stopping now, no intermissions, no pause. I mean, okay, pauses, yeah, but like no chances of giving a single round away. That would be devastating. That might as well be the very end of them. And, well, I'm not going to believe in them until they're able to pick up at least, let's say, 8, 9 rounds in a row. Otherwise, this should be the very end. And, well, the first gun round is here. Scream already finds the entry. Hampus down to 4. So lucky to be alive. And Spellin, he might actually have a bit of a back flank. This is excellent. Spellin sprays down. He hits 1. That's knock to fall. And that's probably the best player to take down if you're in a position like that. Surreal. Yeah. Free kill again. Scream. Knife? No. Okay, fair enough. Keto is going to find 1 existence. And Surreal certainly denying any sort of chance GamerLegion might have had to win this easily. Still a 3-on-2.
With Hampus being down to such low HP, Surreal not able to land the shot, and he's tagged down to 22 at least, trying to battle on a little more. If he peeks now, could especially land the frag down onto Hampus, but it seems like he will be prepared a little bit. Keto to come in, Brokey to finish 1 off though. As they clean it up, 14-6. They'll get another round on the board here, but GamerLegion, there is a chance another one for Epsilon. They'll be down to some pistols yet again into this round. But again, it's definitely a settling period for GamerLegion until they realize that let's just get this game finished. And they run some kind of execution style strat toward a bomb site, and that's where Epsilon can really find themselves in an uncomfortable position. Even Hampus buying down to considerably low economy, down $800, spending a lot of his cash on that utility, as well as the Kevlar as well. Crucial. Misses the first shot. As he opens up with that AWP. Spellin spotted as well. This doesn't bode well for him as he tries to get around toward a long Nork to find the first frag.
Jesus.
And especially with Hampus lurking toward that B bomb site. This could really start to divide the attention of Epsilon, especially if he can pick off maybe 1 frag. That would really send signals to Epsilon that we don't know where GamerLegion are or what they're doing at this point, but it does seem like Brokey has the situation under control for now, and Hampus, he doesn't really want to go aggressive either. That's the thing. He wants to wait for the rest of his team or wait for Epsilon to go, you know, hunting for these team players instead. Yeah.
Like, I like how you pointed out exactly the fact that basically Epsilon, or more so, excuse me, GamerLegion at this point, you know, all they have to do is just focus on a single round or a single execute, really pull it out, and I have no doubt in my mind that they probably will win with it. Obviously, Epsilon They can still win. Don't get me wrong, guys. This is not yet over. This is not yet decided. But it is a long way for Epsilon to go. And Brocky gets one. It's Scream to refrag. Immediately back to a 4-on-3. Keto did nade one down, but it's still gonna... Oh my god, Scream and AK in his hands. And Existence, he delays the rotation as well. This is horrible, surreal, and crucial. A 2v4 on an eco round of GamerLegion. How do you not come across with a victory here? And Scream sees crucial. Surreal is gone. That's the round. That's the game. That's it. The money is gone for Epsilon. I mean, actually, no, apologies. The money is still there. Crucial, if he saves it, they have enough to rebuy. But this is just... Oh, man. This is horrible.
Surely dead, yeah.
Oh.
Existence. He's going to finish him off. He even takes away that AWP. He's left that down to $1,800. The rest of his team, well, they'll be able to purchase, but it's going to be incredibly weak for the rest. They actually get a decent buy out of this. A couple of AWPs and AUG as well. An MP9 onto Surreal. And a Deagle in the hands of Crucial. But GamerLegion, they'll be laughing all the way as they close out 15 with an eco. Yeah, it's so
Oh, fuck.
impressive from them. So, can't flick to the first player as they make their way out toward Playground. He is forcing his way back, which is smarter. Do not want to be risking it, especially when any mistake you make is pretty much going to lead to the victory and the closeout of this series for that T side. But right now, I love the aggressive plays from Epsilon. They're making sure that a long control and short control established. Keto, nice first opener. Scream should be there for the trade, and he definitely is going to be. A couple of taps later, and he's dead. Not looking for one, but Spellin, if he crosses over, we'll not expect this. Will he check the close angle? Of course he won't. Get a knife in there, Spellin. Give you some dignity back, and there we go. That's a way to do it. 4 versus 3. Advantage now with that CT side, but how long will it remain, especially with such weak links like Surreal and Crucial with the weaponry that they have? Baiting out that first man as well. I'm pretty sure, yeah, they now hear Surreal backing away. That's so good from Scream, at least to gain the first initial info. But the rest of this side, oh, this is so smart. They're drawing one more man out toward that B bomb site. Down inside of the heaven position. So yes, he is there for the quick rotate, but now he's down all the way through to lower CT. So at this point, getting so dangerous. Spell and the lone man on this very desolate space. As GamerLegion begin to advance. As soon as they spot the first man here, Scream, they should be calling in for backup, but Hampus towards A long. He could be such a denial of this right now, but Spellan, that's a way to keep the round in your control. A triple for him to finish, and Epsilon, they keep themselves alive for one more round.
Well, certainly they keep themselves alive, but I mean, this is still a long way to go, and certainly it is no easy task to get up to 15. And as I've said, unless our dear friends Epsilon are able to pick up those 8 rounds in a row, I'm having a very hard time seeing how far or where they can even go. I am honestly unsure. Can they even pick up a single round more? This is a full buy from GamerLegion, and even on pistol rounds, they were able to contend against Epsilon easily. Look at this. Scream team kills it. Oh, wait, what? Oh, excuse me. Spellin finds 2 with actually an assistance with a team kill by Scream. So that's actually a bit unfortunate and turns things on its head. So perhaps finally some success for Epsilon, as they should be able to find their 8th round. But this is nonetheless still a very concerning position that Epsilon are in, and a long way to go before they can call it, well, a good, I guess you could say a good game.
That's the thing. The scariest point right now is whilst Epsilon are beginning to grind their rounds back, beginning to put a couple on the board, as soon as Epsilon make a mistake, as soon as they allow GamerLegion an opportunity to strike, they only need 1 round to finish this match off. So that one mistake can be that 1 round. And as we head into most likely an eco, yeah, semi-force buy, so not too bad of a round. This is where Epsilon can stabilize themselves once more. Put them into an opportunity to close out 9, maybe even strike for double figures. So, yeah, this is actually somewhat of a heavier investment than I would have liked from GamerLegion, actually. They've spent quite a lot of economy, but of course, the round loss bonus will go in their favor in the next round. But either way, it is going to be Epsilon most likely to close out this round. GamerLegion, they'll go for more of a B bomb site split, which I do like. A lot of utility, because they can execute toward that B site if they definitely want to. But it seems like they're just going to play more of a standardized approach. Slow this down entirely. Yeah, they'll begin to dip toward that B site. So Existence getting ready. The rest of his team, the bomb is there as well. Right now, Keto. Good spam, Hampus. Drop down, but not too heavy. Oh, HS though.
No.
He finds
Oh, no.
it first. Oh, they can't land the spray. Oh dear, Scream. He finds one, and that is now into a 5-on-3. HS spamming, and Keto forced to retreat temporarily.
He's there.
He's tagged down as well, and Nork able to finish into a 5-on-2. Spellan, the man with the AWP. If they do get a decent tag down, HS is forced back, but surely this is game over now. Surely 16-8 on the cards, and it seems like GamerLegion, they've won themselves an eco.
What a disappointing round from Epsilon. Certainly Keto and Surreal were the two, or more so Brocky and Surreal would want to lose it all. And Crucial in a 1-on-5 now, an ace clutch to come up if he wants to win the round, and he misses his chance.
Wow.
GG. 16-8. And it is a very much eco victory for GamerLegion and a 2-0 overall result in the series itself. As GamerLegion take down Epsilon, secure themselves the best possible outcome that you could hope for in this kind of position. And I guess in the end, we'll be very much happy that they are now 2-0 in the league itself. But Epsilon, that comes as a big disappointment.
Yeah, like, I don't know, there's definitely an element that we cannot take away from GamerLegion. They were outstanding.
Truly,
in this
yeah.
best
Knock,
of 3.
man. Oh.
Yeah, like, MVP. If we have to give an MVP of that game, it's Nog, hands down.
Yeah, hands down, yeah.
There's still definitely a huge error made on that Epsilon side where they weren't able to, you know, stay competitive in Overpass. Yes, they got like 8 rounds back, but that was at a time where GamerLegion were